Hello, my thirsty friends, and welcome back to Into the Drink, an ongoing series of mine where we find outlandish, obscure, or simply uncommon drinks, shed a little light on their history, and then give them a swig. In today's episode, we're going to be tasting this Sugarcane Juice, or Ganne ka Ras from Hindi. This traditional Indian drink is famously sold throughout almost all of the subcontinent. Being incredibly popular, the drink was first introduced after sugarcane started to be cultivated and was imported into India from New Guinea. While variations of Ganne juice are popular throughout much of Southeast Asia, from Indonesia to Vietnam to Thailand, the variety in India notably features ginger and lime added to it to cut through the strong, sugary flavor of the juice itself. Ganne juice is most commonly sold throughout much of India by street vendors who cart around shafts of sugarcane along with gas-operated machines through which they press the sugarcane along with pieces of fresh lime and ginger root. With sugarcane so easily available throughout all of Southeast Asia, you can get Ganne freshly pressed in India starting at the low price of only 30 rupees. That's just about 50 cents in USD. That being said, since sugarcane and the machines used to press it are so much harder to come across here in the US, you can only buy Ganne juice from a couple of brands, this being one of them. And it starts for exorbitant prices of almost $5 a bottle. Obviously, sugarcane juice has a lot of sugar in it. This almost starts at 50 grams of sugar per bottle. We're not here to worry about our health though. Let's just get right into this drink. Oh, and we're back. Well, the first thing you might notice about this is it's quite green, and that's because sugarcane itself is very green when it's raw, and the only thing happening to make this juice is pressing sugarcane with limes and ginger in it. There's no processing, which is why this remains quite a green shade. Well, let's take our first swig. Okay, the first thing that's going to surprise you about this is it's not actually as sweet as you'd expect. I know it's straight sugarcane juice, but the first flavor that hits you isn't sugar, unlike you might expect from a drink, say, like Coke, or even other American juices. The first flavor that hits you is actually the sugarcane itself, which is a sort of greeny taste. It's almost a bit like the aftertaste you might take from getting a spoonful of Demerara or brown sugar. Additionally, there's a nice kick of lime and ginger to the back of this. I think without the added lime and ginger, it just doesn't pack the same punch it does, and it would come across as very cloying, for even for what it is pretty sweet. The ginger, that being said, is a wonderful aftertaste, which is quite complex and subtle. So, it is still sugarcane juice, which means this is very sweet. You're looking at 50 grams of sugar right here, and if you go by the rule that 4 grams of sugar is about a tablespoon, you do the math. That's almost half of this glass filled up with sugar. Okay, I'm gonna have to go in for one final sip here before I give my review. Oh man, that's so good. You're gonna have to take this glass away from me or I'll be finishing it in a heartbeat. I mean, my god, I've already cut through more than half of it. It's so good. Okay, let's be real here for a second. Ganne juice, I'm biased on. This genuinely might be my #1 beverage. I'm not even kidding, I think I would put this above everything I've ever drank, ever. If I had this stuff shipped to me, I would be dead by now because I'd be drinking it so much. It's fantastic. Okay, review time. Ganne juice is pretty out there. It's a flavor I know a lot of my friends and people living in the US don't have an opportunity to experience, and I think for that reason alone, stand aside it being a wonderful, tasty drink, everyone should give it a try if they get it. This brand in particular does a wonderful job of capturing the flavor of freshly pressed Indian Ganne juice with the added lime and ginger that I think no other brand has really done for me, aside from literally going to a street vendor and getting it off the street. It's obviously not that exact same flavor, but this is pretty darn close. I think for those reasons, I'm gonna have to give Ganne Juice a solid 10 heart diseases out of 5 sugarcane sticks. This stuff is honestly amazing. If you had the opportunity to buy a bottle of this, or a box, or a couple tons, ship most of it my way, but save a bottle for yourself just to give it a try. I think if you don't do that, you're genuinely missing out on something wonderful. It's probably absurd of me to say you should go all the way out to India just to try this stuff freshly pressed. I mean, the couple $1,000s in flight expenses, the travel, the timings of all of it, the 50 cents to buy the darn thing. Or is it? Anyways, thanks so much for joining me for today's episode of Into the Drink. I really hope you enjoyed the show, and if you did, be sure to leave me a like, a comment, or whatever it is you do to show your love. Additionally, if you know of a culturally obscure or simply uncommon drink you want me to try out on the show, please leave a comment, and I'll see if I can work it in. I'd love to if I can. Thanks so much for joining me for today's episode, and I'll see all of you guys next week when we fall back into the drink.